Hi everyone, this is Zack, head technician with Magnum Bikes. Today we're going to go through a basic assembly process for one of our bikes right out of the box. So first thing you want to do is take a picture of all sides of the box and record the serial number. Then you're going to remove those two tabs. Usually there's going to be two per box. Open it up, fold the sides down for easier removal. And then we're going to remove the bike. I like to grab the rear rack as well as right under that top tube. You can see there me grabbing. And then I do like to retain the box so that we can put all the scraps and recyclables in it as well for sort of a more tidier effect. And then we're going to start stripping the bike down. You'll see those little tabs. They are just a loose knot. One side will pull it right out, and it makes disassembling all the packaging and material here very easy. And here what you're seeing me do is remove the hub and disc brake rotor protectors from that front wheel. Occasionally a little piece can break off inside of the axle. You can just pop it out with the skewer, which I'll explain the skewer in a moment. This will be a lion's share really of the basic assembly process of a Magnum bike. Alright, so here's our accessories box. That white little sticker is the serial number. You're going to want to retain that for your records, a toolkit, and there's also a charger in there as well. And the quick release skewer that goes in that front wheel like I just mentioned. Alright, so what I'm removing here is called the top cap. We don't actually use these on our bikes. This is just used for the shipping process to hold the fork and everything together. And that's a 5mm bolt that you're seeing me take off. You really don't need to keep these parts. You can discard of them or recycle them. And here is our stem and handlebar combo with our integrated no-tool adjustable stem. So I'm tightening this bolt down into the steer tube of the fork and what's called the star nut. You'll be able to see the female threads inside the fork. This is going to compress bearings that allow you to turn the handlebars. It's got quite a bit of thread and it's a pretty fine thread, so it's going to take a while for you to drive it home. Go ahead and get it snug down, not too tight though, as you can harsh those bearings up. Then go ahead and align your handlebars. There are guides on the handlebars, and then click the stem into place. So here we're going to put our seat post in. Within the seat tube there, like you're seeing me do, put a light amount of waterproof grease just to prevent corrosion and sort of that seat post sticking in there. Go ahead and align the flanges of that seat post collar with the seat tube. You'll see a little cut out there. You're going to want to get that basically to where when you tighten it down, it leaves an imprint on your hand. You want that pretty tight so it doesn't slip. But first we're going to install the fender as well as reconnect the light. The lights will come installed, but they're going to be coming backwards to you. This is again for the shipping process. So the tools I'm using here are a 5mm wrench and a 10mm box wrench, both of which respectively are included in that toolkit. That little tab on the fender you see next to my left hand will go behind the brake bridge on the fork there. And the bolt and washer are going to go from the outside of the fork to the inside, and those are going to hold the light as well as that fender tab respectively. And what I'm loosening up here are 4mm Allen bolts that come in the fork. You're going to want to remove the bolt and the washer and put that on the outside of that small circular tab that connects the fender to the fork. I like to tighten these up before I tighten that 10mm nut and 5mm Allen bolt that hold the light and fender tab together. These will help center the fender and get it as high as it can go. This is good for tire clearance. And you'll see me tightening this up with the light kind of hanging to the side there. I like to get it good and tight and then just slide that light into the proper upright position. And here we're going to remove our axle dummy as well as our brake pad spacer. You need to align the rotor with the caliper as well as slide the axle into the dropouts there. And not unlike the seat post collar, you basically want to tighten that down to where when you drive it home like that, it leaves a small imprint in the heel of your hand. Now we're going to install the pedals. Again, use a little bit of that waterproof grease and just coat the threads in it. Our pedals will come with an R and L, and that's for right and left respectively. It's very important that the right pedal is screwed into the right crank arm and that the left is screwed into the left crank arm. This is because the threads are clockwise and counterclockwise. Depending on pedaling forces, they do differ. And once you get that thread started, you can just pedal backwards. And then what you're going to use is included in the toolkit as well. It's a 15mm box wrench. And you'll see here in just a second, you really want to bear down on this and get them good and tight. That's pretty critical that for the safety reason as well as just for a proper build. And there you go. It's a rough build of a Magnum bike. Thanks for watching, and for any other technical information, reach out to me.